There are 4 stances that we use in JING. We've adapted them from Tai Chi, so Eastern philosophy of how to stand and how to use your energy. The first one is forward Tai Chi stance, and this is really about balancing your pelvis between your front leg and your back leg and moving your weight between the two. This is certainly really important for those of us who want to do deep work without hurting anybody and just keeping it really grounded.
Yeah. So the forward Tai Chi stance is really good for any type of effleurage move, any type of trigger point work often, that kind of thing. So anything where there's a forward kind of energy.
Yeah. And some of the myofascial work actually, when you do like the Rolfing moves, you really need to be in a solid forward Tai Chi stance, and the issue that really comes up is the power actually comes from your pelvis and your back leg rather than leaning forward and trying to come up from your shoulders. So the stances are really important for that. So that's forward Tai Chi stance. The second stance that we use a lot is horse stance. Yeah. So this way we get our legs wider than hip width apart and we move from side to side, and this gives us width, doesn't it? It sort of gives us like that length of the table to work. So effleurage is also really good.
Forearm work is really good with horse stance. And also anything where we're doing a pulling up type of motion, we can use horse stance.
And the idea usually is that like we flow from one to the other. So with these techniques and kind of the way JING works, is that you're just flowing one from another and keeping your focus there. So forward Tai Chi to horse stance usually is a transitional thing, and you can choose what works best for you when you're applying these techniques. The other 2 are kneeling stance.
So kneeling stance, also known as proposal stance, because that's what it looks like. So this is great when you actually need to get down at the level of your table. So you might notice that a lot of these stances are actually about avoiding bending over with your back, which is something that a lot of therapists do. So if you needed to work the shoulders, maybe work the trapezius muscles from the head of the table, or you wanted to work your client's arms if they were prone and hanging over the side of the table, or you wanted to work their feet, kneeling would be a great way to do that.
And we also use kneeling stance on the table. So in a lot of the table shiatsu moves, we're looking at using our weight on the table and leaning in and doing, it's more like a lunge. I'm just going to do that. And the last one is seated stance. And the thing about sitting is we're really big fans of it. It's great to take a load off when you're treating, but just to keep yourself upright, feet planted on the floor. And I will tell you that Rachel and I are not the tallest people in the world, but we can certainly get our legs wider than the table and our feet planted and our backs upright when we're working, and that just really helps you with all your posture and that you can stay focused and in a healthy position when you're treating.
That's right. The great thing about seated stance is you can be very solid with your legs, but you can really move around with the top half of your body while staying grounded.
So play around with those 4 different stances.